And we are here with someone who doesn't really need an introduction because she creates a vibe. Welcome, Vibe Queen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so glad that you're here.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. We're happy to have you. So, tell us a little bit about this name, your moniker, Vibe Queen. Where did this come from?
So Vibe Queen was actually bestowed upon me. I didn't pick it. My mentor and coach, who I hired to help me with my branding, actually said it fits perfectly. I run a music networking event called Vibe Talk Music, so he said who else best to host it than the Vibe Queen, so it kind of stuck.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Vibe Talk Music. So I hear Vibe Talk Music. I've heard terms safe space in association with it. What does that exactly mean? Safe space. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. So Vibe Talk Music came about because I've been in the industry about 15 years on and off. And before I started Vibe Talk Music, I was actually with a distribution label, and I was married to someone in the industry. So all of the business, stuff I really didn't need to know. I could just be an artist, and I kind of took that for granted, I'm not gonna lie. So I've got to work with some really great artists, been in nice studios, but once, that no longer was available for me, I found myself with nothing. So I took a break from music to kind of figure out what it is I wanted to do. And I realized that music really was my calling, but I had no producers, no studio, nobody that I could kind of call on. And when I went to a lot of events, it was open mics and things like that, but nobody really wanted to connect or talk. It was more just hype and social media and, things like that. So I figured, if it's not out there, why not create it? And that's what I did.
That's fantastic.
So what can someone expect with coming to one of your events?
Absolutely. So we do a unique thing. So during the first 2 hours of the event, which is networking, we actually play independent artist music. So instead of hearing, Cardi B and all of that, which no offense to her, you actually get to hear independent artist music that otherwise may not have had a platform to share that. Even to get on a playlist can take a while and can cost money and resources. So for only $5 at Vibe Talk, you can get your song played for the entire audience. And we also feature the artist's IG and picture on the projector, so people can actually follow them. And then our host, Joe Hill, he's a comedian. He kind of, shoots the shit. I don't know if I can curse on here. You can bleep it out. With the artist, and just kind of gets the feedback of the crowd. And it's always a really good vibe, and it's positive, it's upbeat, and it's a good way for artists that are working on material to also kind of tweak it if they realize maybe the crowd didn't really get hype, or into it. So that makes it different. Besides that, we also feature a guest speaker. We talk about different topics within the music industry, so how to get yourself booked, how to manage your finances, PR, all those topics that as artists you need to know if you don't have major label support. And then lastly, we feature a headliner and some openers as well. So it's kind of like an artist showcase. So we try to tap into all facets.
It
of
sounds like an
being,
all-in-one.
being an artist.
Just
Yes.
$5. That's all you need.
Well, $5 is a song submission. Ticket to the event is 15. But yeah, everything is
$20.
included, and we have a videographer there, photographer there, so tons of content, which I know is important in this day and age.
That's amazing.
So how important was that? Because of everyone in art, I'm finding out that people are wary of the networking events because you pay this money to go, but from listening to you, it seems like it's a great investment because you're put in front of these people who are actually open to hear your song, open to critique. How important was that for you to get that together and putting your name on this, something that can help creatives out?
Absolutely. So for me, the way I was looking at it is that I needed to stand out. Like I said, there are a lot of just networking events, and there are a lot of just open mics, and then there's jam sessions, but there's really, at least to my knowledge, no place where you kind of have a little bit of education. You can still have a drink, you have some vendors that have cool stuff. You get to hear new music. You actually get to talk to the artist whose song just played, which is awesome. So if you're looking for a backup singer, or if you're looking for a rapper to feature, if you're looking for a producer or a DJ, all of those people are there. So that's the whole point. It's a safe space, to kind of answer your question, because it's all positive, and we're all here to do the same thing, and that's have a successful career.
Do you want to maintain that sort of accessible vibe? I'm assuming that you do, but I guess in thinking about your company and what you're doing, growing, speaking into existence company, where do you see it, I guess, in like the next 5 to 10 years?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that question. So we are taking it on the road. We're going to be in New Orleans in 2 weeks, which is exciting. We're going to be in Chicago in April. We're going to be in Nashville in June. So my plan ultimately is I've always wanted to travel, and I've got to travel for other jobs in the past, but it's still a job. So I've always wanted to be kind of independent and, you know, be my own boss. So that's kind of where I see Vibe Talk Music going, is being able to travel, take it on the road, help as many artists as possible. Ultimately, the 5-year goal would be to take it to Europe. That's where I'm from originally. So to take it back to where I grew up would be like awesome. And besides that, also to perform. I'm still an artist myself at heart. So performing and singing is what I love.
I am crazy
yeah.
impressed. That is so cool. Like, keep an eye on her. Next up to be P. Diddy. Jesus Christ. You sound like someone on Empire. Like, that is amazing.
I was just like, what are we doing?
Now, I heard you briefly mention you still being an artist yourself.
Yes.
How has that been as far as developing your own, nurturing your own artistic abilities while also developing this for others?
So it's been tough. I'm
Yeah.
not going to lie to you. Something I vowed to myself for 2019 was that I was going to include everybody on my journey, including the highlights and the lowlights, I guess you could say, which is not always easy to do, especially on social media. You want to share the good parts. So I'm going to be really honest with you. It's been tough. You know, when I was in music before, I was in a group, which I'm going to say there's safety in that. You have other people to rely on and energy-wise, and now I'm a solo artist. That's a challenge for me. As a singer vocally, I've kind of limited myself. I've been very much in my comfort zone, so I know I need to push myself and develop that further. As far as my sound, I do know what my sound is. It's neo-soul R&B, very chill, very like Janae Aiko, Georgia Smith, Alicia Keys type of vibe. But right now, all of my energy is going into Vibe Talk Music. Something I'm realizing is that you do have to, you know, put all of your energy into one thing before you can kind of do something else.
That's absolutely right.
So yeah.
Unfortunately, but yeah, very
Yeah,
true.
I'm learning that. So it's every day you learn something new.
Because once
so.
you focus on that, then you can eat off of it.
Exactly, exactly. So that's the plan. But music is definitely still on the forefront. I did finish my debut single, so that's supposed to come out in March. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
So we are so grateful that you took time out of your day to come and see us. But
Of course.
we need for you to tell our viewers where they can find you on social media, where we can hear your music, so we can get part of the vibe.
Absolutely. You can find everything on Vibe Talk Music on Instagram, Facebook, and then my personal IG is Vibe Queen Music. Very simple. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in. This has been an amazing conversation.
Cool.
And cannot wait to see what happens with
Same.
Vibe Talk.
Okay, me too.